Purple is the best deck in Gundam Card Game. And no, I'm not talking about Celestial Being. I was doing this color combination way before it was cool. I'm talking about Zeon Tekkadan, the two best factions in the Gundam story and the two best factions in the game. Yes, I did already make a deck list about this, but things have changed. More cards have come out, and I've got a new deck that's stronger than ever. So I'm thinking, I show you the new deck, show you the new changes to it, and then afterwards I talk a bit about my choices for the deck and why they matter. Let's go! If it wasn't obvious from me combining two hyper-aggressive factions together, this is a rush deck. In a meta filled with blockers and stalling simulators, be the fast-paced gameplay you want to see. But it's not just your ordinary rush deck. It doesn't crumple like Eok did in the finale of Iron-Blooded Orphans the minute we get to relatively high resources. No, it's got some backup plans, which you're going to see the more we look through this pile of cards. Let's start with the level 1s. Not too many, just 2 copies of the CGS Mobile Worker, including this shiny C+ over here. An amazing consistency card. It can buff your early game troops to be that much more effective, and also it does deal some damage, which for your Tekkadan units will activate their crazy power-up abilities, and for your Zeon units, doesn't matter, they're cheap and replaceable. Giving them extra attack is way more important than giving them extra health. On to our level 2s, and there's a lot of these. 4 Zaku 2s with an axe, 4 Zaku 2s with a sniper, and 2 Graze Customs. Level 2 Cost 122 is the name of the game here. These are the keystones for getting your rush active. You have a 2-2 and a mobile worker. EX base gone. You have a single one of these snipers. EX base gone. You're going to want to have to draw these. And my recommendation is, as long as you have one of these in your hand, it's a good hand. Don't mulligan. But yep, there is a reason why we only run 2 of these Tekkadan Grace Customs and so many Zeon Zaku 2s. And that is because there's a certain card that can search these. Speaking of which, on to our level 3s. Here comes Shah. 4 Shah Zaku 2 that searches. And 4 Zaku 2 that adds a token. Even more Shah. You love to see it. These are the best cards in the deck in my opinion. Like, they literally do everything. They're a cheap beat stick, which you can swarm the field with. They have a link to probably the best pilot in the green color. And anything else, oh yeah, when they die, they just generate you more value. Like, there's a reason why Shah is just so goated. Like, bro, these suits are just insane. But it's not just Shah holding down the fort in the level 3 category. We also have our very own Black Tri-Stars. 3 Rick Doms. These are another super important card because, like I said, this is a rush. You're going to be like opening up their base and then smashing at their shields. But these guys, they've got breach, so you can add to the rush effort while also clearing out their field. And now, last but definitely not least, 3 copies of Gundam Barbatos First Form, or as I like to call it, Bot of Greed. When I said earlier there were some new cards that made me switch up my deck list, this is the main one. It is beyond insane. Like, it generates so much value early game, it's got similar stats to Shah, and like, you can very easily get it on, because this, damage it, makes it active, draw a card, and this is far from our only card that can make this active. That's it for the 3s. Now on to the 4s. 3 Gelgoog, another Shah Link, another big beat stick, and a lovely 2 cost, so you can still just swarm the field even at this stage of the game. And now those are all the cards for the rush strategy, but what happens when the rush fails? They're still alive and they're gaining access to their boss cards. Well, so are we. 4 copies of Gundam Barbatos 4th Form. Absolutely insane card. It can buff and damage your guys just like the mobile worker. And more importantly, if it's damage itself, it gains suppression. Essentially, if the game doesn't end fast because of your swarms of low-level units, it's gonna end fast because of your one big guy. Absolute insanity. But that's it for our units. Now on to the pilots. I think with pilots, you gotta run 8, unless you're playing something like Celestial Being or Clan, where you get buffs for running more. And R8 is, of course, 4 Shah Aznable and 4 Mikazuki August. It seems that Augur has teamed up with another blonde masked guy who acts questionable, and Mika is in for the ride too. Honestly, these two, I will stand by this. They're the best pilots of their respective colour. Shah makes blockers a non-existent threat with his high maneuver. Mika can ping your opponent and also damage your own guys to like buff up your Babatuses. Both of these guys, goated. And then that's it for the pilots. On to our commands. 2 copies of With Iron and Blood. Yep, I'm running my promo now. Augur is my favourite character in IBO, but like, come on, these two look so cool together. Pretty self-explanatory. +3 attack points, +1 damage. It's like a mobile worker on steroids. And best of all, because it's a command, we can use it to out unforeseen incident. Like they tried to -3 to our guy to make it useless. Now we're plussing him back. And in addition to these two, we have 3 Fatal Strikes, featuring a nice little C+ over here. Probably the best generic purple command. Like, this will just trash early game blockers and allow the rush to rush a lot better. And that's it for our commands. Now the last 4 cards are of course our 4 bases. 2 Falmels for even more Shah. I have a favourite, it's pretty obvious, I'll admit it. And of course, Isaribi. A lot of our cards damage ourselves. This buffs damage cards. And it's only 1 cost, so in a pinch, it's a lot better to have this than this. And that's why we run both. And that is it for the deck list. Now, I see you've noticed there are no cards from GDO3 Steel Requiem here. And that's because, like, for this deck, we just don't need them. Like, if I was playing a pure Teknon deck, believe me, I would buy like 12 booster boxes of Steel Requiem to get all the cards I need, because those are insane for a pure list. But for us, we're on Zeon Tekadon. Like, a lot of the stuff the new cards have to offer, we've already got access to thanks to stuff like Shah. Because, like, if you take a look, a lot of the new Tekadon stuff, it's focusing on like a milling strategy instead of like a damaging strategy, so it doesn't really gel well with our existing like flow. And also, the new like Gushon Rebake Full City is amazing, it does block stuff, but at the same time, we don't need late game blocker insurance when we have high maneuver. And then as for the new command that has Kudelia on it, like damage 2 or damage 4, whatever, it's just not as useful as Fatal Strike, because the only real like threat to this strategy is early game blockers, because those can stop the rush, and then you'll be forced to rely on your Barbatos 4th form. But this, it just crushes them immediately, and you can just continue on. So yep, that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!